November. Yeah, I didn't know which month was next. A year ago, I was announcing the release of Iosia role-playing game version 1, and I was really pleased and stuff, and then I said that I would be doing NaNoWriMo afterwards. Now, NaNoWriMo, which I'll be talking about later because I want to upload another video on that, probably in a couple of days, talking about that. But basically, it is a motivational website which you sign up to, and it makes you write a story in the month of November. Now, and it gives you a target word count of 50,000 words in 30 days. Now, last year I did 10,000. Then I ran out of steam because I'd been doing the game. Then I tried to continue on with the story, and it just didn't happen. So this year I'm not going to do NaNoWriMo. I'm just going to write. This will mean that apart from the update which I mentioned in the last video about the the Games Master's Manual, which I'm probably going to be uploading on the 4th of November, probably won't be updating at all in November, as I'll be writing. The whole point, the whole reason behind all of this, all of these arcs and gods and people and maps and places and stuff is it's all supplementary stuff to the stories I've written. And there's one story, and it mentions down here other half-written stories include The Claw, Nerolith, Darkness and Shadow, which I have right here. Dawning of the Claw, Darkness and Shadow, and Nerolith. As you see, some of these haven't been touched for years. One of them might have had one character changed, maybe. But yeah, I haven't really done any writing, basically. Now, this every Sunday update thing is excellent for me because it keeps me in touch with Iosia. I don't have to write much. Like, for example, this Succubi article is just like, it's a couple hundred words. Decent article, I reckon. Nice little picture drawn by someone for me, DM. So thank you for that. And so I can churn one of them out every week, and that keeps me into it, But it stops me from doing. It stopped me really. But when I do a big project, I just work on that and don't bother with stuff like this. So the weekly updates stop me from doing big projects because I think, well, I've got to do another little update, so I won't bother with that, and I end up not writing. So I'm not writing at all. I haven't written anything in a bloody long time. So I'm gonna in November. I may well. Well, I can't really say what I'm going to do because I'm probably going to decide just as soon as I start. There's a couple of projects that I just want to go through briefly. The Dawning of the Claw here, that's a story that I wrote a bloody long time ago, really long time ago, and it's about this this guy who comes from an isolated village that gets caught up in this invasion, and the village is destroyed, and it's about him discovering the rest of the world, not the rest of the world, but the world outside his village, because he hasn't been anywhere else. He's a hunter tracker. He fetches food for the village and brings it back and stuff. So he has skills, but he hasn't been outside of his village. So it's him just exploring the world, meeting people, different people for the first time, and it's his sort of journey into the world because he's forced out during very violent circumstances. During the midst of this invasion, some creatures come and are being driven by something. But anyway, that's all in the story. Darkness and Shadow, a little bit more complicated. It's about this young woman who finds out that she's in grave danger. She's been chased by this evil race who shun sunlight, who aren't vampires, because they're like demons and stuff, and she doesn't know why, and she has to find out why. Basically, I don't really want to give anything away with that one, honestly, because it goes really deeply into the history of Iosia and stuff. But basically, she has to find out who she is, and what she is, and what she's going to do about that. And Nerolith is another story about a female character. This is probably my favourite story I've ever written. Not finished yet, probably 2/3 of the way through. Haven't touched it in about 2, maybe 3 years. That just, oh, excuse me. But that's really, really painful to think about. But yeah, I haven't touched it, but it's probably one of the best things I've ever written. And it's about there's a group of monster hunters, and this woman is the daughter of the leader of them, and she is captured by the vampires and turned into one. So she's driven out. She's a complete outcast. She's turned into something that she's been taught to hate, and it's her dealing with that. And she becomes kind of an anti-hero, hunting out criminals as a vampire, and uncovers this plot, and stuff happens. But I'm really, really happy with the way that one turned out. There's also other ones like this one. There's one, Shard, Revenge is a Hard Business. That is about this character who was called Shard, who is now called Variax. Name might ring a bell. That's set in the futuristic world after Iosia, when magic dies out and all the races die out, and it's basically just humans left, and they develop technology and stuff. So it's more of a semi-futuristic, post-apocalyptic kind of world, and that's about him hunting some guys down that have done him right. It's basically just a revenge story. It's not supposed to be original. It's just me getting to grips with the character. There's another one somewhere called Herding the Cattle. Not the most fantastic of titles, but yeah, that's something else. That's where he comes across this isolated community, and this other guy has come in there, and he's manipulated them so they've become slaves, but they don't realize it, and they're mining for him, and he's sort of getting loads of profit from them, and they don't even realize, because they're again quite an isolated group of people. And does he help them? Well, Shard / Variax is not really a hero, so well, we might never know, because I might not even do that one. I might not even touch that story ever again. But there are, what I'm trying to get here is there's a lot of unfinished stuff here. Way too much unfinished stuff. You know, I mean, Twisted Fates. The last NaNoWriMo I did last year was continuing Twisted Fates here. No, not here. Here. So I've got a lot of stuff ongoing, if you like, even though I haven't touched it for years. A lot of old stories, as mentioned here, that I've started and possibly finished, but then not been very happy with it. So I've started rewriting it and not finished the rewrite, or I've just left, or it's supposed to lead on to something else and that hasn't happened, and because of that the story itself isn't complete, like Twisted Fates, I suppose. So I've got a lot of stuff to decide what I want to do. So I'm just getting across that I have a lot of things ongoing, if you want to call them that. I think I already said that, but I don't know what I want to do next. And if one of those appeals to you, then please let me know, and it might just give me a little spark of where to turn my attentions. But currently, yeah, I'm just going to start one of them. Don't know which. Probably I'm just going to decide when the day comes, and I may well take a week to read the entire thing again and get a feel for the writing and characters and stuff like that. Because, like I say, I haven't touched it in ages, and then start writing it. But yeah, I'm just going to go at my own pace and enjoy it, basically. That's the difference between this year and last year. Last year I was setting myself a target and an aim, and I wanted to get something done. This time I'm just going to look at a story and see if I want to see what I can do with it, basically. And hopefully something will come from it, but if not, then when December comes around again, I'll just forget it and continue with the little updates. But, you know, I've dipped my fingers into the storytelling again, which is something I need to do because it's the entire point of the whole project when it's all said and done. So that be that update. Thank you very much for watching. And nice of you to show an interest, as always. I will see you when I see you. Yes, but keep in touch. It's nice to know you're still out there, and read the updates and stuff, and let me know what you think about things. Nice to know somebody's out there. Ooh. Anyway, yeah. So thanks. Toodaloo.